Hello and welcome to the final installment of the second Jumbo Shrimp Guide to Italian Wine, International Grape Varieties in Italy, presented by the Italian Wine Podcast. My name is Joy Livingston, your narrator. The Jumbo Shrimp Guide to Italian Wine, International Grape Varieties in Italy is the new book from Positive Press, and if you're wondering how to get a copy of the book, the Kindle version will soon be available on Amazon, and the paperback will likewise be available from positivepress.net. Donate to the Italian Wine Podcast and we'll send you a complimentary paperback copy of the book. Wait, I should rephrase that. It seems like last time I said this, a $1 donation cost us $30 to ship to Tajikistan. Seriously, not cool, dude. So by donating a minimum of $10 to the Italian Wine Podcast, we'll send you a free copy of the book. Find details at italianwinepodcast.com, and remember to rate our show wherever you listen to your podcasts. Welcome to the final installment of the Jumbo Shrimp Guide to International Grape Varieties in Italy. Today, we're going to give you more international grapes found in Italy, and we're going to talk about the food pairings that might go nicely with some of these varieties. So let's get started. Carmenère. A natural cross between Cabernet Franc and Gros Cabernet. This grape originates in Bordeaux and was widely cultivated there in the 18th century. It has recently gained fame as the flagship variety of Chile, where it was imported from Bordeaux and originally mistaken for Merlot. It is suited to the cooler climate areas in Chile, which are influenced by coastal breezes or higher altitudes. Indeed, some argue that with global warming, Bordeaux would actually soon be too warm for the cultivation of this grape variety. These cooler areas allow for an extended growing season, which helps physiological ripeness keep pace with sugar ripeness. Harvesting time is particularly important to avoid unpleasantly green aromas and flavors of astringent tannins. Carmenère also dislikes rain during the ripening period, as this exacerbates the green pepper character. This is yet another reason why it has found its spiritual home in the cool but dry climate of Chile. It partners well with Cabernet Sauvignon, which coincidentally is one of the other most grown varieties in this South American region. Where is it found in Italy? Lombardia and some pockets in the Veneto are where we find key plantings of Carmenère. Tasting note. Known for its very deep color, these wines are often deep purple in hue, and indeed their fruit profile reflects this. Blueberries and blue plums are keenly present, alongside a tart green capsicum that can lend a pleasingly bitter counterpoint to these wines. These wines can age well and develop a rich, savory character when they do. Sauvignon Blanc. The name Sauvignon comes from sauvage, the French word for wild, and it is related to Chenin Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc has become one of the world's most popular grapes and most popular wines, with plantings increasing significantly all over the globe. Much of this is thanks to the rise in popularity of the fresh, high-acid and very fruity Sauvignon Blanc wines produced in New Zealand. These were a stark contrast to the austere, steely wines being produced in the Loire Valley. Even in Italy, we see a split in styles between the opulent aromatic wines of the Friuli and the more nervous flinty wines of the Alto Adige, although the wines of Terlan often bridge this divide. As an aromatic grape variety, Sauvignon Blanc is rarely treated with MLF or oak. However, Robert Mondavi made a name for himself in California with a very particular style called Fumé Blanc, using Sauvignon Blanc fermented in oak. Sauvignon Blanc is not suited for very warm climates. These features, in fact, are particularly useful in cool climates, as it does not need a long growing season in order to develop the fullest range of flavors. Outside of France and New Zealand, key areas for Sauvignon Blanc are now being found in Chile, where the style mirrors those strongly aromatic wines produced in Marlborough, New Zealand, and also South Africa. Where to find these in Italy? Plantings of Sauvignon Blanc in Italy are mostly concentrated in the northeast. Trentino Alto Adige and Friuli are the most common, but there are also notable instances of Sauvignon Blanc in Piemonte. Tasting note: the wines are always characterized by high acidity. In the cooler areas, there is fresh green fruit, white blossom, citrus, gooseberry, and even an asparagus note, while in particular soils, a flinty or struck match aroma can be found. In warmer climates, the passion fruit and grapefruit aromas and flavors begin to dominate. Notably, some of Italy's most aromatic examples may express pungent elderflower or tomato leaf aromas. Pinot Noir, or Pinot Nero. Pinot Noir, called Pinot Nero in most of Italy, is one of the oldest cultivated varieties in the world, with records showing that it was present in the French region of Burgundy when the Romans arrived around 2,000 years ago. Since then, it has become synonymous with this region, and due to its somewhat difficult nature, it has not become as widespread as its vinous partner in crime, Chardonnay. Despite this, however, where the conditions allow, Pinot Noir produces exceptional and potentially long-lived wines. It prefers cool to moderate climate in order to express itself best. However, it cannot be too cold or it will not ripen fully. It is the Goldilocks of grapes. It likes things just right. It is very rarely found in truly warm climates. It copes well with humidity, however, does not like wind and is easily damaged. Despite being potentially difficult to cultivate, it is suitable for a range of wine styles, from fresh and fruity, with good acidity levels and bright red fruit, to richer, fuller bodied, complex wines that can age and display a wide range of flavors and aromas, perhaps the most notable of which are forest floor, mushroom, and smoked meat. The more concentrated styles are also suited to oak use in winemaking. Pinot Noir is also responsible for some of the great traditional method sparkling wines of the world. Other notable areas of production outside of France include Central Otago and Martinborough in New Zealand and Willamette Valley in Oregon, USA, and Sonoma County and the Central Coast of California, also in the USA. Where in Italy can Pinot Nero be found? It tends to be concentrated in the northern regions due to its aversion to overly warm climates. Key plantings are found in Piemonte, Valle d'Aosta, Lombardia, Trentino Alto Adige, and Tuscany. Tasting note: Pinot Noir is dominated by red fruit aromas and flavors, cherries, strawberries, and raspberries, as well as a distinct floral, violet note. As it ages, in particular, it develops game meat and smoky notes. Perhaps one of the key aspects to note when enjoying Pinot Nero is that no matter their age or region, they will never be deep red wines. They are defined by a pale ruby color. Syrah. This grape is perhaps currently best known in two places in the world: France's Rhône Valley, where it's likely originated. Recent studies suggest it might find its origins in the Savoy, and its more recent home, Australia, where it is more commonly referred to as Shiraz. It is a grape variety that needs warmth and will not ripen in very cool climates. Indeed, until the recent impact of global warming, the northern Rhône Valley was considered the coolest area in which Shiraz could regularly ripen fully. In the coolest regions, it maintains a characteristic peppery note, whereas in warmer or even hot regions, such as the Barossa Valley in Australia, it can become rich and jammy, with dark fruit and licorice as its dominant features. Syrah plays well with other grapes, and some of the greatest wines are blends made with Grenache, Mourvèdre, and other local varieties. It adds acidity, dark fruit notes, and spice to these blends. For those made with Grenache, it also aids in adding tannin to produce wines suitable for longer aging. The boldness of Syrah wines means that oak use in winemaking and aging is extremely common and enhances the existing spicy profile of the wines. Where to find Syrah in Italy? Tuscany and Sicily are driving regions for the cultivation of this grape in Italy. There are some smaller plantings in Lazio and Valle d'Aosta. Tasting note. Syrah is dominated by ripe blue, black, and red fruit notes, in particular blueberries, blackberries, and very ripe raspberries. It is also well known for having a clear black pepper note, especially when cultivated in cooler sites. It has moderate acidity but good tannin levels, so it is useful when adding body and tannin to blended wines. In very hot climates, the wines can become high in alcohol and with jammy fruit flavors, the pepper note being replaced by licorice. Grenache, Garnacha, or Canonau. This is a highly controversial variety in terms of its origins, and the battle still wages as to whether it is Spanish or French, or indeed Italian. However, scientists are leaning towards confirming Spanish origin, as it is here that we find most genetic mutations, and this typically indicates where a grape has lived longest. It is a grape that prefers warm to even hot climates, and despite its thin skins, loves the sun and needs warmth for ripening. It can reach very high levels of sugar ripeness, giving the wine's high potential alcohol levels. Although it is well known in the regions of Rioja and Priorat in Spain, and in the southern Rhône Valley, Provence, and France's Mediterranean coast, it has traveled well to other countries such as Australia and even Mexico, where it thrives in the warm climates. Grenache is often used in blends where it adds body and red fruit character, but due to its thin skins with little color and tannins, it likes to be paired with varieties such as Carignan and Syrah that can offer these attributes. However, when found in Italy, it is actually rarely blended and enjoys showing off as a single varietal, especially as Canonau di Sardegna. Where is this found in Italy? Sardinia, Liguria, Tuscany, Umbria, like Gamay del Trasimeno, and Veneto, where it is called Thai Rosso. Tasting note. Grenache is defined by bright red fruit character, strawberries, raspberries, and red plums. It also always displays clear floral notes such as violet, as well as a white pepper note. It tends to have a light to medium ruby hue, medium acidity, and low to medium tannins. Interestingly, it is a wine that can age well even as a single varietal wine, gaining fruit concentration and a slightly smoky cured meat note. Chardonnay. Chardonnay is a grape variety most closely associated with the white wines of Burgundy in France. There is even a town here called Chardonnay. It is one of the most widely planted grape varieties in the world, perhaps because it's one of the world's most adaptable varieties. This means that it can produce high quality wines in many different climates. As a result of this adaptability, it is also capable of producing concentrated, rich, and full bodied wines that are suitable to a range of winemaking techniques such as malolactic fermentation, lees stirring, and oak aging, all of which give the wines additional aromas, flavors, and texture. In many ways, this grape variety is a true chameleon, taking on different personalities wherever it goes. Recent DNA analysis suggests that Chardonnay is actually the offspring of another Burgundian variety, Pinot Noir, and Gouillet's, a variety that is of Danubian origin. It is an early budding variety, which means in colder climates it can suffer if there is frost. In contrast, in warmer climates, it's a variety that can lose its acidity quickly, which means that harvest times are vital in order to retain freshness in the finished wines. Where is Chardonnay found in Italy? It is found all over Italy as it is in the world. This is a well-loved grape here. Perhaps the only regions that have resisted the lure of this adaptable grape are Liguria, Molise, and Basilicata. However, pockets are found throughout the country. Tasting note. Chardonnay from cooler climates displays sharper flavors such as lemon, green apple, pear, and perhaps a flinty character in certain soils. Wines made in moderate climates will have flavors and aromas of stone fruits such as nectarine, peach, and apricot. And finally, those in the warmest regions can give ripe tropical fruits melon, pineapple, banana, papaya, and mango. With the broad range of winemaking techniques that Chardonnay can withstand, it is possible to find wines with yeasty and biscuit aromas from lees stirring, buttery and creamy notes from malolactic fermentation, and toasty, smoky, and even vanilla and nutmeg aromas from oak fermentation and or aging. It should not be forgotten that Chardonnay is one of the key grapes for premium sparkling wine production around the world. Pairing Italian food to wines made with international grapes. Italy is world famous as a culture in which wine and food are inseparable. And everywhere you go, you will hear people debating which local wine should be paired with which local dish. Arguments about this are fierce, long, and usually good natured. Given this tradition, we thought it would be fun to put together our suggestions for which regional Italian dishes or products pair best with some of the most common styles of wine made with international varieties. Obviously, this is just a representative sample. There are so many foods and wines in Italy that even if we were to narrow down our list somehow, we would still have thousands of pages and not a jumbo shrimp guide. Bordeaux blend. These wines are rich and complex, often having seen extended oak use and or aging. When young, they can have high acid and high tannin, which mellows as they age into elegant but complex wines. Our favorite food pairings from around Italy could be agnolotti al sugo di arrosto, which is meat stuffed pasta, little ravioli with slow cooked beef sauce, or spaghetti alla carbonara. This dish needs no explanation. Or bombette pugliesi, little meatballs stuffed with caciocavallo cheese and grilled. Sauvignon Blanc. Aromatic and fresh. These wines are characterized by herbal notes and high acidity. In warmer climates, they can display tropical fruit characteristics, but they are always refreshing. Consider pairing them with bacala alla vicentina, salt cod mashed with milk and herbs, served on grilled polenta, or nudi, ricotta and spinach dumplings dressed with butter and sage, or pasta alla norma, pasta with aubergines, tomato sauce, basil, and ricotta salata cheese. Pinot Nero. Lightly colored, these wines have a huge range of styles, from fresh and red-fruited with moderate acidity to layered and structured with more earthy characteristics. We think for lighter and fresher wines you could enjoy tiella pugliese, mussels stewed with rice and potatoes, or affettati misti, also known as charcuterie for those with a French accent, or even risotto ai funghi, mushroom risotto. Whereas for more structured, complex examples, how about tagliatelle al tartufo? No explanations needed. Or arrosticini, grilled sheep or goat meat. Or even caciuccio, Tuscan fish soup. Syrah. Particularly in Italy, the wines from Syrah are pungent with clear black pepper notes, red and black fruit, soft tannins, rich body, and good levels of acidity. We prefer to enjoy these wines with the following dishes: Fiorentina steak, or bollito misto, boiled meat, either beef, pork, and chicken, served with sauces, or even bucatini alla matriciana, pasta with tomato sauce, guanciale, cured pig cheek, and pecorino. Grenache. Many people think of Grenache as dominated by red fruit, but actually, perhaps the most important aspect to consider when pairing this wine is that it can be very floral and spicy. In terms of its structure, it can be very rich and high in alcohol. All things considered when choosing a dish to go with it. How about coniglio alla ligure, rabbit slow roasted with olives, pine nuts, and herbs? Or porcedu, fire roasted pig? Or even sarde a beccafico, sardines stuffed with herbs, raisins, and breadcrumbs. Chardonnay. This is a grape that is found in so many different styles that it's so hard to discuss just one, two, or even 10 dishes that could be enjoyed with it. To narrow this down slightly, we first considered big, powerful oak styles with richer fruit, perhaps more tropical flavors. Bruschetta with pear and gorgonzola, or picchi all'aglione, spaghetti-shaped pasta but thicker with garlic. Risotto alla milanese, saffron risotto. Then, of course, there are the fresher styles with more acidity, sharper citrus flavors, and lighter body. You could try trenette al pesto, spaghetti-like pasta with a basil pesto sauce, or pizza margherita, or even creamy polenta with cheese. White sparkling wines. These wines will have high acidity but rich flavors such as brioche, toast, and pastry, and fruit flavors such as baked apple, lemon peel, and almonds. Whilst we think in reality these wines could be enjoyed with all and any food, some of our favorites include mortadella di Bologna, fritto misto di pesce, the classic Italian fish fry, arancini, fried saffron-scented rice balls with meat and peas. Rosé sparkling wines. Of course, we wanted to also give a shout out to the rosé sparkling wines, as these have similar nutty, biscuity notes, but complemented with red fruit character. Nevertheless, it's the acidity that drives versatility. We've found the following to be particularly enjoyable: crostata di frutta, fresh fruit tart, or focaccia con prosciutto and mozzarella di bufala, or even spaghetti con i ricci, spaghetti with sea urchin. Thank you for listening to this final episode of the Jumbo Shrimp Guide to Italian Wine, International Grape Varieties, the second and newest book in the Jumbo Shrimp series. Remember, the Kindle version of the book will be available on Amazon, and the paperback will likewise be available from positivepress.net. Also, rate our show wherever you tune in. Find Italian Wine Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Our Twitter handle is @ItaWinePodcast. Check out @Mama Jumbo Shrimp on TikTok.